Living here in Dubai, I ride plenty of sand. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you 8 tips I use on every sand ride. We're going to start with a short clip of an actual sandy ride to highlight some of these points. Second gear. Feed that clutch out all the way and give it gas. Almost every start begins in second gear. Hips are back. Slow down so you can approach the next one. It's not about going fast, it's about going forward. Hips back, give it gas. Squeeze the lower legs. We need to use active balance to steer the bike. Let that front tire search for traction. Never hurts to do a foot dab here or there. Oh, we're in the soft stuff now. Paddle, paddle, paddle. Go, go, go. Keep that forward momentum any way you can. And prepare for high traction. Riding sand is challenging for even the most experienced riders. The 8 tips outlined in this video are what allow me to enjoy sand, and I hope that they help you too. So, let's get into it. Think of a rock skipping on water. That is how we need to ride sand. Burst of acceleration, lift the bike through the sand. Accelerate with blips and slowly roll off the throttle as the sand acts as a brake. Oh, beautiful open space. Riding sand is more about being smooth than going fast. It's about finding the balance between throttle, clutch, and brake in order to have a successful run. Here we can watch the controls as I approach and descend a small dune. To slow the bike quickly, I pull in the clutch and roll off the throttle at the same time. By cutting power this way, it reduces overloading the bike's front suspension. With experience, you'll learn how to adjust your momentum depending on the density of the sand you're riding on. The tricky part about riding sand is learning the different densities of sand that you can come across. Knowing where the firm stuff is, knowing where the soft stuff is. Each has their own special body positioning needed to ride through it and throttle control to get through it. Whether you're riding your bike on a flat sandy road or climbing a sand dune, the same principles apply. The only thing that changes is how much effort you need to put into it. If you're approaching from the firm side of the dune into the soft side of the dune, be prepared for that bike to sink into that soft sand. You need to really get back into that attack position, lower your center of gravity, and be prepared for that bike to sink in. Once the bike has sunk in, be prepared to get on that throttle, build that momentum, and take you out of the soft sand. If you're coming up the dune from the soft side, be prepared for how soft that sand is and that the bike can come up into you so that you have that momentum to continue up. Riding up the dune from the soft side, work on your timing on momentum control. Sometimes you need to be aggressive with that roll on the throttle, but the timing has to be just right so you don't inadvertently turn it into a jump. When we're riding in sand, we use our eyes to figure out what type of sand is coming up next. This helps us decide which body position we need to choose, how much momentum we need to use, and which line we should ride. When you're about to ride over a short patch of sand, focus your eyes on where you want that front tire to go first. Then, look ahead where you want the bike to go after that. This will help you steer the bike over the sand. On longer sections of sand, like out in the dunes, all we do is keep repeating this technique. Just like the skipping rock, we want to go from point to point. It goes without saying, but if you're driving on a road with blowing sand, it's just best to avoid it for your own safety. Body positioning is very important when riding in the sand. If you do not have the correct fundamentals on how to stand and ride the bike, your deficits will be found out quickly once you get into the sand. We want to start with the ball of the foot on the peg. We want to hold the bike from our ankles to our knees. Not squeezing, but they should be in constant contact so that if we need to react, we can squeeze immediately. We want to move our hips back towards the rear of the bike with a slight curve and our low back. Our chest is up, the elbows come wide, the wrists are straight onto the handlebars, and our vision is into the distance. Having our elbows wide allows us to move laterally side to side to be able to react and counterweight that outside foot peg when the bike wobbles in order to keep us on line. Second gear. Sand like this is the worst type of sand for a big heavy bike. Heavy vehicles have already ridden over it, churned up the sand, it's become aerated and landed soft, so it's very, very soft. Need to be in second gear so that the engine revs are nice and high to be able to keep going. If you start off in first gear, more likely just to bury that tire, and you're gonna run out of RPMs really quickly, and you need to shift to second gear. Sometimes you can miss a shifting gear as you get going, so second gear is the way to start. Starting in second gear provides lower end torque to that rear tire, needed to regain traction and help lift that front end. Where to stop the bike? An important tip to use when riding these big heavy bikes through the sand is to make sure that when you come to a stop, you're in a position where that front tire is lower than the rear tire so that gravity can help on the restart. Oftentimes with these big heavy bikes, if you come to a stop with the front tire even slightly higher than the rear tire, as you get going again, that rear tire just sinks. It's better to stop with that front tire slightly lower than the rear so that gravity can help keep that bike going. Tire pressure is always a hotly debated topic. Certainly, deflating our tire pressure to increase the contact patch will help us in the sand. Typically, the softer the sand, less tire pressure is needed. I personally like to ride at 2 bar or 29 PSI. I feel that this allows me a soft enough tire to gain traction, but also allows me some protection for the rim in case I come across sandstone or another hard object while I'm in the sand. Some things that can help determine what tire pressure is correct is it a more street biased tire or is it an off-road tire? A street biased tire, you might need to deflate more to get more traction. Also, the amount of wear, how many kilometers or miles are on your tire. If that tire is bald, you're going to need to deflate a little bit more. Tire pressure is a personal decision and can vary from terrain to terrain. For me, if I deflate below 29 PSI or 2 bar, I feel that the sidewall is unstable and the bike is harder to predict as to where it's going to go. If I come across a very soft section of sand, I will deflate down, get through that soft section, and then reinflate to continue my ride. A good thing to do is to test different tire pressures to see what is right for you. Oftentimes when I'm riding sand, I have to walk the bike. Even hard enduro guys will walk the bike. There's no shame in walking the bike. If the sand is really soft and I need to get going again, I will walk the bike to an area that is more compacted so that I have better traction to get going again. I love riding sand because it constantly challenges and improves my skills. You really have to be on top of your game and adapt to the shifting sand underneath you. That's why we've put together these 8 tips to help demystify sand riding and help give you a solid foundation to work from. So go out there, put in some practice, and push yourself to try new things. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. 1, 2, 3. So go out there. Oh, so you might need to take a circuitous route to get there. What else?